Breakfast Club wants some cap to save a mistress, Claressa Shields, and given that stimulus package, were they ever Remy Ma's friend? Hey there, it's Anonymous Tea, where we spill the tea anonymously. Hello, everyone. Hello, YouTubers. Hope you guys are all having an amazing day today, sending good vibes, sending positivity, sending blessings, and good energy to each and every single one of you. Thank you so much for tuning in. So, anything I say is alleged and in my very, very personal opinion. This for entertainment purposes only. None of this is personal. The Copyright Act of 1976 is in the description box. Some meat and potatoes, some housekeeping items. So, today we are talking Claressa Shields. Surprise, surprise. AKA Pap's Mistress. AKA Pap's Entanglement. AKA Pap's Pick Me. AKA Pap's Side Chick. Or as Chris Cyborg would say, it is duck hunting season. Claressa Shields needs to increase the checks that she is given to the Breakfast Club, that she is given to iHeartRadio, because let anyone else tell it, you would have never thought that Remy Ma and Charlemagne and Angela Yee and DJ Envy were personal friends all these years. The way you are kissing Claressa Shields' ASS. Like, what are we doing? So, first of all, the Breakfast Club decided to enter in the chat when the clip originally went viral of Claressa Shields and Miss Shanika and everything else. You have Charlemagne the God laughing the entire time the clip is playing and said that he loves this. He loves messy radio. He loves good radio. He loves when they ask the provocative questions, the questions that people want to know, that he has followed Shanika. He's known her since his days when he was with Wendy Williams, y'all. That is how way back when Shanika has been out here in these streets. In these media streets, in these radio streets, in these interview streets. Don't play with her. Do not play with her. Apparently, there was a second video that the Breakfast Club did about this topic, and they called it the Breakfast Club After Dark. However, they didn't show their reaction in the Breakfast Club After Dark. And I wasn't looking for it either, right? But it popped up where they were showing Claressa's crash out live that she did yesterday, right? So I'm like, all right, fine, we put a pin in it, all of that, right? But what has happened is everything has gone viral with Claressa's crash out lives. And the response, once again, on the Shade Room, on the Neighborhood Talk, any of your major blogs, on the Instagrammies, is not going the way Claressa wants it to go. So in comes Captain Save a Mistress, Claressa Shields. In comes Captain Save a 304, Claressa Shields. In comes Save a Pick Me, Claressa Shields. The Breakfast Club is right on the scene. Is right at the crime to do damage control for Claressa Shields, and it is really the audacity. Were y'all ever Remy's friend? So I am going to set this up, and with all things iHeartRadio, I unfortunately will not be showing you the video because you know what happens? They will hit that copyright so fast and be like, your video is blocked. You can mute or delete. No. So I'm going to set up the video because I think it's like 4.5 minutes long. We're not going to do the whole 4.5 minutes. We're going to do like about 2 minutes, but in between, I'm going to give some commentary. So to set up the beginning, Lauren LaRosa is setting up the scene, right? That, you know, there's a response with Claressa Shields' Crash Out Live. They set the scene. They play the original clip of Shanika asking Claressa, how much longer are you still going to be entangled with this married man? How much longer is this going to go, right? Then they play Shanika, because remember, I told you she did an interview over the weekend with Dennis Byron, aka the Hip Hop Inquirer, and Nyla Seds, right? Did an interview, but she did that interview because Claressa Shields was calling her interview question corny, was threatening future radio hosts and podcasts and media outlets that if you ask me any type of questions again, this is what's going to happen. Basically threatening them. Don't ask her any type of controversial questions or whatever the case may be, or it's going to be on like Donkey Kong, right? So Claressa, it's okay for her to throw all this shade. Shanika went on that interview basically saying, listen, look at here, I thought we were all cool. I thought everything was Gucci, right? And I'm finding out behind the scenes, Claressa is up to her shenanigans again, trying to bully people, trying to ruin people's careers, trying to destroy them. And so then they play a partial of Claressa Shields' Crash Out Live where she is flat out insulting Shanika, but they don't include that part. They just include the portion of where Claressa is questioning, why Shanika didn't keep the same energy with her in person. Why didn't she, if she really believes this Pap is using her for this and Pap is using her for that, why didn't she say that to her face and all this and all that? And then included in the clip as well, the allegation that Shanika allegedly cheated on her husband with a barber. Again, I never heard that story before. I am not familiar with that story. I don't know of that to be true, just like I don't know of Claressa Shields' allegations from Adrian trying to SLUT shame Alicia Baumgart. Claressa Shields receives backlash again for what took place with Alicia Baumgartner, her slapping her at a VIP Netflix MVP promotion event, which she is now banned from all things MVP promotions for the foreseeable future. And ultimately, we pick up with the Breakfast Club's reaction.
Oh, you are a part of the cheat on my husband committee. You the leader of the shit.
I'll say this. I thoroughly enjoyed that whole conversation. To me, that was good radio. Miss Shanika asked a question in the way that a lot of people think about that situation. And Claressa gave a great answer that allowed her, at least to me, to clear it up. But I do agree with Claressa if, that was Miss Shanika's opinion. The things that she said afterwards to that other interviewer, she should have said to Claressa.
Yeah. And this is my issue with Claressa Shields' DICK writers, you know what I'm saying? And certain Claressa Shields supporters that overlook the problematic things that she says and she does on the internet, and y'all act like she is just quiet on the creek, that she is not out here causing havoc on all these social media platforms. There would have been no Shanika interview if Shanika was not made aware that Claressa Shields was trying to allegedly block her blessings, allegedly trying to start a hate and smear campaign against her and all of the things. Because Shanika said in that same interview that y'all didn't include in y'all clip, I thought everything was cool. I thought everything was Gucci when we left it all there at the interview. And even with the arm wrestle, even though Claressa was bothered, you know what I'm saying? But Shanika thought that it was all good right then and there. She then is seeing on social media all these messy comments from Claressa throwing shade at her and not keeping the same energy. So it's interesting that the Breakfast Club is like, oh, if she really felt that way, she should have said it to her face. No. She asked the right question. She asked the question everybody wants to know. Yeah, Claressa was ticked that it happened, but she went into a whole whataboutism, y'all need to be dragging Remy instead of me, and that didn't pan out the way she wanted it to because it enhanced and put focus back on the fact that it has been multiple years that you were sleeping with a married man who does not want to divorce his wife, or does want to divorce his wife if he gets half of her earnings, which basically means the divorce is going to happen in never, ever, ever land. Let's continue.
She should have said to Clarissa.
Yeah, absolutely. She should have said that to Clarissa's face. And I'm sure Clarissa feels the same way. Like, we did an interview. I'm sure after they took pictures, we left. If you felt that way, say it to my face.
It could have been a back and forth
Let's have a conversation
Yeah, it
about
could have been a conversation. Yeah,
Especially off air because
No, not off air, on air.
regardless of how you had it. But
if you say it on there, you should be able to have the conversation.
I understand. I think my point is because even in the second interview Miss Shanika did, she's like, woman to woman, girl to girl, right? And if you're a person who you've been through a divorce, which they talked about, they all have been through divorces. I think there was a lot of opportunity to have a conversation of like, we're not trying to play you. I just want to let you know how I see you and how I don't know if you see it yourself as well too.
And once again, Breakfast Club, this is my issue with y'all. Y'all are not bringing context to the situation. Y'all acting like Shanika is out here doing interviews for clout, for attention, and is deliberately switching up on things she would have said or would have asked Claressa or asked Pap if she had the opportunity. That's not what this was. That's not what this is. Shanika left the interview on the floor. She asked her question, left it on the floor. Young Jock and Claressa did some arm wrestling or whatever the case may be, and Claressa made the comment, I should be arm wrestling you. Shanika left it on the floor. The problem was, Claressa did not like the backlash. She did not like how that was being perceived. She doesn't like the fact that nobody's talking about her boxing. Nobody's talking about this lackluster match that she has coming up, this lackluster fight with lack of ticket sales, lack of star celebrity quality performers. You're bringing in Lotto, a fellow mistress that just had a baby by a married man. You couldn't even get Atlanta's greatest. You couldn't get T.I. You couldn't get Future. You couldn't get Outkast. You couldn't get anybody else in Atlanta. You had to get Lotto. And Lotto to this day still is not promoting the fact that she's doing your ring walk, which tells me everything I need to know. But I don't like how the Breakfast Club is twisting this, as though Shanika is all of a sudden doing a woulda, coulda, shoulda, when Claressa always does this when she gets drug on the internet. She gets drug on the internet, tries to play in these people's comments, tries to say shady stuff. When that doesn't work, she does a crash out live, plays victim, cusses people out, attacks them, tries to destroy their reputation, smear and slander their name, call them all types of names. And then y'all pick it up and present it as though, well, yeah, Claressa's right. Claressa's right. She should have said that to her face. No. Let's continue.
You know how I see you and how I don't know if you see it yourself as well too.
After Claressa made her statement on the Screech Morning Takeover, what Miss Shanika said in that interview that you just played, she should have said to Claressa.
Yeah,
absolutely. And I'm mad that everybody's talking about everything around Claressa except for the fight.
Oh, they talk about that fight?
Nah, everything that I've seen in the headlines and the trending have all been this back and forth and her responding.
I know that fight August 15th.
August 15th, State Farm Arena.
10 days.
In Atlanta, Lotto bringing her out.
I was about to say, she just announced that Lotto's
But
bringing her
even
out
the fact
too.
that Lotto's bringing her out, you still, that felt like that was behind all this other BS.
Not to me. I feel like it helped.
I saw the Lotto stuff because I follow Claressa, but I don't feel like people talked about it. Like, oh, it's lit. Like, Lotto has mentioned her in a song. Like, now Lotto bringing out she's in Atlanta.
Are like we know about her. Although this drama between her and Pat, not between her and Pat, with the whole Pat situation has been like overpowering a lot of things for like the last 2 years. But like we do hear more about her other fights than this one. I'm not gonna lie. It's not like a lot of. I don't know.
August 15th, State Farm Arena.
Yeah, she at work though, cause she was in the gym when she posted this video. She at work. She's at work.
It seems like the
one
BS
thing
is.
she is right about though. Krishan do need to stay away from Blueface. So, yeah, I mean, I do agree with that. And I'm glad that Claressa Shields is actually with Krishan, too. Like, a professional is teaching her
how to
box and fight,
Recently.
And again, this is my issue with the Breakfast Club, is y'all are not saying what's really the facts. Y'all are cherry picking certain segments to push a certain narrative that is in favor of Claressa Shields. But again, where is the accountability here? Where is Charlemagne, who said the other day that he likes and respects Miss Shanika, but is mute on all the disrespect, all the slander, and all the defamatory claims Claressa Shields made in that same live, and fat shaming, and making allegations. What about you? And it's the same thing that she did in the interview when asked about how long was she going to entertain a married man. It was like, oh, nobody wants to say the word divorce. And, you know, what about Remy? What about holding Remy accountable for what she done? And she has a man that we still haven't seen, by the way. When's the last time you've seen Remy Ma with a man? Please let me know, right? But where is the accountability for Claressa that she also talks big and bad on these crash out lives and never has the same energy on any of these radio stations to their face? Because y'all sit there and coddle her. And even when Miss Shanika asked her that question, Claressa didn't get bucked the way she's getting bucked now on the live. So it's crazy to me that the Breakfast Club once again wants to ignore the rah-rah-rah and attack behavior that Claressa Shields is doing against other people, against other parties. All of that is okay. But now all of a sudden, you want to make it seem like this is all Shanika's fault. That Shanika brought this on herself. She found out that there's an active hate train against her. She found out that Claressa is switching up and trying to destroy this woman's reputation and trying to destroy this woman's career, which is why she decided to go on an interview to clear her name and set the stage of what really happened at that interview. And then she was asked if she had an opportunity to talk to Claressa again, what would she say? If you had an opportunity to talk to Pap, what would you say? All of these things. But that was after she saw all this shade Claressa was throwing at Shanika on the internet. And y'all never want to talk about Claressa Shields' internet shenanigans. But y'all want a clip out of a 41-minute crash out live. Claressa Shields, oh, you got to keep the same energy. You got to do this and do that. And what about you sleeping with a barber and cheating on your husband and da-da-da-da-da? But when Claressa Shields is in front of y'all faces, y'all don't got that same energy for her either. Y'all will never ask her, what is she still doing with the married man? And Remy supposedly is a personal friend of y'all's. And Remy already has called y'all out before regarding quote-unquote fair reporting. So it is really the audacity. It is really the audacity for y'all to sit here and once again glaze somebody that gets away with bullying, attacking, harassing, and making severe and serious defamatory and slanderous allegations against other black women in particular, and y'all are sitting there on mute. Y'all are sitting there on mute. And automatically take Claressa Shields aside in everything. That woman is a mistress. That woman is a side chick. Nobody gives a crap about her fight next week because it originally was on a Zeus Network undercard. And nobody gives a crap about no Lotto. Lotto is also a mistress that had a baby with a married man. Y'all asked Lotto more of the questions that the people wanted to know than you did Claressa. But y'all out here acting like Lotto is on the level of a Cardi B, of a Nicki Minaj, and I'm here to tell you that she is not. That album came and went. So desperate times call for desperate measures so that she can promote this album because she is nowhere on no maternity leave. But somebody let Lotto know on the socials she can easily promote herself to increase the ticket sales in Atlanta if her fans want to see her. But she seems embarrassed and ashamed that she even is doing this ring walk for Claressa. Because let it have been Angel Reese or any of these other celebrities, Lotto would have been posted that she's performing, that she's doing X and the Y and the Z. It's very embarrassing. But it is embarrassing that the Breakfast Club is taking this stance because ultimately it's just showing that y'all were never Remy's friends. Y'all were never Remy's friends, and y'all played in her face and probably preferred cheating Pap, because y'all also cheaters. And that's what it is. That is what it is. I don't know if y'all are scared of Claressa Shields. I don't know how much, you know what I'm saying, she is paying y'all to do all this glazing, but it gets to a point. There's a difference between right and wrong. So it's okay for Claressa to disrespect Miss Shanika all up on this internet and allegedly trying to sabotage her behind the scenes. But y'all are only mad at the response that Shanika decided to do an interview. Y'all are not mad at the tactics that Claressa Shields is allegedly trying to do to her. Like that's whack to me. That's whack. That's weak sauce as far as I'm concerned. So that is it, you guys, for this video. I need y'all to do me the biggest favor. I need y'all to do y'all biggest one, and that is to hype the video. Hype the video, please. There is that. That is it. That is all. Es todos es final. Es finito. Es the end of the road. Es the end of the line for this video. Let me know your thoughts in the comments. Please do not forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Hit the notification bell so you're notified the moment I post the content on my channel. And with that being said, I'll talk to you guys again very soon.